On this episode, we're talking about the absolute best of Walt Disney World dining in several categories. Today's May 30th, 2023. This is episode 569 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts. Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I'm your host, Jeremy Stein, and I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey, guys.
Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic. And if you've not done so already, head out to Facebook and search for the Main Street Magic community and ask to join. Then if you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, you're going to get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. And if you're planning that trip to Disneyland or Walt Disney World, you did not get your advanced dining reservation for the spots you want 60 days out, do not fret, because Mouse Dining removes the frustration of booking Disney dining reservations, alerting you when they spot availability for your desired restaurant, date, meal, and time. Visit msmfriends.com to use this free service. So we are talking dining again. We figured we've done these dining reviews. We've tried a lot of new spots lately to us. Let's go ahead and do an episode that kind of encompasses all of Walt Disney World dining.
Okay.
And Rhonda had to do homework, which is her favorite. So,
well, can I first say happy summer?
Happy summer. Summer is upon us. We're now several days into summer because we're recording this about 5 days earlier than it's going out. So,
we are busy, but the kids are done and they are already like in the pool and taking them to the beach. So, hello, summer.
Yeah, and we've got a lot of fun summer plans in and around Orlando and beyond that we'll be sharing with you, of course, especially if you check out on social at Main ST Magic and all of that. But we're going to talk dining again today because honestly, people love the dining reviews, the dining episodes, so we're going to keep them coming.
Okay.
We have more coming. Don't worry. We're doing Splitsville. We landed a homecoming brunch this weekend, Memorial Day weekend. We'll be talking about those soon. I believe, hopefully, we're getting back to Sanaa for lunch in a couple of weeks.
We are?
Yeah, with Rob and Tina. So that will be a lot of fun. We have not dined at Sanaa in a long time. So a couple of those coming up. That'll be a lot of fun. But that's not what today about. Today is about overall dining and what our favorites are. So we have selected 10 different categories. You ready for the rules?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I know you love my rules. This
I may have
makes
broke
it fun. Yeah, this makes it more fun though, and you can play along.
Why
at
are you
home.
looking?
I'm not looking at yours. I promise.
Stop looking.
You can play along
Mind
at
your
home.
business.
Okay, thank you. We cannot have the same pick as each other, so we need a backup. So if we get to a category, we've each selected 2, just in case our pick, coincides. Then we got to go to our backup. We can only use a restaurant once throughout the entire, I'm going to call it a game, except for our very last category. And for that one, we'll say we can use whatever we want, and we can even double up if we want. If it's the same one, it's the same one. Let's make it fun like that.
Does it make me win if I didn't double up at all?
I shouldn't call it a game if you can't actually win. Well, we could come at the end and we could ask people whose picks they like better overall, and then see who wins. We could do a poll or something on Facebook. We're going to flip a coin to see who picks each time.
Okay.
I do have a coin, a physical coin this time, and I have 2 backup coins.
In case you drop it?
Because the chances are I will drop this. I'm going to start with the quarter because it's biggest and it should be easiest to handle. But,
okay.
So that's where we're going to go. So let me tell you the categories real quick. We're going to pick a quick service, a table service, signature dining. Then we're going to move on to a breakfast, which could vary different, from those first 3 categories. Then a lunch or dinner, because we know a lot of those menus are often the same. Then we're going to have a date night selection, a late night selection, best atmosphere, best character dining, and then our overall pick of our favorite or what we think is the best restaurant throughout Walt Disney World. So this includes parks, resorts, Disney Springs, all of it.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
You look like you're second guessing yourself already.
I am. Go ahead.
All right, we're going to start with quick service. Do you just want to be heads every time and I'll be tails? That'll
Sure.
be the way to do it. All right, our quick service pick is heads. You are first with the quick service restaurant of your selection.
So I picked Polite Pig.
Well, we started this one off on the right foot because that was my number 1 pick, which means I'll have to go to my backup.
Really?
Why did you pick Polite Pig, which I still think is shockingly considered a quick
Quick
service,
service.
but it is.
Because it's fantastic. I'll never forget when we got it to go and we took it 2 hours home and we even had to warm it up. It was still fantastic. We have eaten now twice sitting down right there, and the food is just fantastic. You can get as much as you will hurt you, or you can get as little as a snack, basically. I really enjoyed the times that I've been there, and it's a great little, and I don't think I realized it was quick service until like we actually went to go get it, and like you go and order real quick, literally, and then what's nice is you sit down and they do have a buzzer and they bring it to you. But I mean, I could switch it up very easily with my second pick.
Well, what is your second?
Yorkshire Fish Company.
Okay.
I know it's just the fish and chips, but I just absolutely love that so much.
Yeah. No, that's a great second pick. It's obviously, I think, a great first pick. Polite Pig is outstanding. I mean, it really is one of the best spots on property. And that comes down to just location, atmosphere, food, and what you mentioned about almost snacks. Like, this is one of those places where the entrees and the sides both like live up to each other. Like the sides can make a meal.
Yes.
I could see just when we've done it, just go sit there and say, you know what, we're going to order 2 or 3 sides. We're not even getting a main meat platter or entree. That butcher's board that we sat and had that time.
And we took stuff home from there. Yeah. We could have almost hurt ourselves.
Back to the Wyndham. We're staying at Wyndham Lake Buena Vista in the tower. And Kaylin ate cold meats that evening back in the room. And Polite Pig is just outstanding. So since you took my first pick, I'm moving on to my second, and I'm going to go over to Polly at Captain Cook's.
Ooh, it's a good one.
Noodles, pulled pork nachos. We had such a wonderful time that night with all our friends. Everybody ordered a bunch of stuff, and we went and sat outside, and the sun had already set. And so again, atmosphere really comes into play there, even though that's a separate category later. But
those noodles, though, are not the same as Tambu Lounge.
No, they're not. They're still delicious.
Shockingly, that is not on my list.
That is actually very, very shocking, because we can say, bars and lounges are included. I think we're just, as far as restaurants and dining. I mean, again, it's dining. We didn't say restaurants. We said dining. So those can certainly be included as we get to later picks. But I love Captain Cook's. I think it's worth a visit to Polly.
Oh, yeah, it's fun.
And just to walk around and then see Polly, but also to go ahead and get some food. You could take it out to the beach, watch Happily Ever After from there. That would also be another way to enjoy Captain Cook's over there at the Polly. All right, so we're going to move on to table service. I don't think we're going to match up here. But
why? Because you're looking at my things?
No, I'm not. Coin flip says tails, so I get to go first, and it's probably no surprise that I picked Skipper Canteen.
Oh, okay.
So over in Magic Kingdom,
yeah.
I know I talk about this place a lot. We mentioned it the last dining review with Tony's Town Square.
Which is funny.
It was a toss-up.
We haven't been in 3 years.
I know, we haven't. So we need to get back. But everything, it's still one of those that every time I see somebody post about it, or every time I see someone say, where do I eat in Magic Kingdom? People recommend Skipper Canteen. If they're eating there, they're loving it still.
Yeah.
I think it's adventurous enough in the way that they prepare dishes. It's, if you're a Jungle Cruise fan, this is such a wonderful spot to go to. You can still often get a walk-up reservation while you're in Magic Kingdom, so it's a good last minute. As we mentioned previously, now that we've tried some of the cocktails over at Tony's Town Square, they're differing between the sit-down restaurants at Magic Kingdom. I would love to get back to Skipper Canteen. I can tell you right now, the next time that we're in Magic Kingdom, we're going to Skipper Canteen.
Okay.
We will do a walk-up, and we will head over there.
Okay.
So we did not pick the same one, obviously. Nope. I felt very safe with that pick.
Okay.
So what is your pick for your favorite or the best table service restaurant throughout?
Well, like I said, I don't have Tambu, but I picked Ohana because of all the amazing food.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
That's another one that we haven't been to in so long, but is one
But I feel like I have because I eat it at Tambu.
I know. You still know, you still get the quality of what they're serving over there.
Absolutely. Because they literally, when we sat there the last time, she told us they take it off the line. So, I'm going to pick Ohana for sure.
Well, I know we're going to have a breakfast category, but you're obviously leaning towards Ohana for the dinner time service.
Absolutely.
As being your
breakfast
favorite
is fine.
table service.
I've got other breakfasts that are better, in my opinion.
I agree. And the breakfast conversation, I think, will be very interesting as we get down to that. But, yeah, that's another one of those that I'll have to look at the calendar, but I don't believe we've been since February for dinner sit down since February of 2018, I believe.
Oh, wow.
So, we're looking at like 5 years time. And obviously it went through so many changes coming back after COVID. Things are getting more back to normal as far as the menu and stuff goes. But yeah, we've eaten noodles, we've eaten wings, we've eaten pot stickers. We've even done the skewers and stuff at Tambu Lounge, and everything has still been
so
fabulous.
Good.
So
good.
Another one of those to mark up on our list as places we need to get back to. And we've said that like we're going to go back through the calendar and find places that we haven't dined in 2 to 3 years and start adding them back into rotation so we can give you updated experiences. So we might as well just go through our second picks as we go through all of this, even though they don't come into play and we don't have to like cross them off the list because it's not the initial pick. What was your second pick for table service?
Homecoming.
Oh, good pick. And if everyone knows, I came around to Homecoming after claiming. I did say recently out on, I think it was Twitter, we booked this brunch thanks to Mouse Dining.
Yes, I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, for Saturday morning. We have a group of 8 of us, which is going to be a lot of fun.
Now, is that a fixed menu? Or can you just get like a side of this?
Yeah, I mean, it's a brunch menu. It's a dedicated Saturday, Sunday only brunch menu. So there are appetizer sides, there are entrees. They have 2 new ones recently. One of them I know for sure is this massive breakfast sandwich that I may try out. I can't remember off the top of my head what the other one is, but somebody did respond and say they think Homecoming is outstanding, but the $30 fried chicken plate is still overrated. They'd rather just go to Popeyes.
Wow.
So one of these days I'm getting the fried chicken plate.
Okay.
But yeah, so doing Homecoming on Saturday morning for brunch, that'll be fun. My backup was Sanaa.
Yeah, it's a good one.
So, it's one of those, as we just mentioned, we haven't sat down at Sanaa in years, but it still comes up every time as one of my favorite spots, and I cannot wait to get back there.
Yeah.
I can't wait to show Rob and Tina like Animal Kingdom Lodge. Hopefully we will see our friend Carson, who is now over at Sanaa. I was already texting her, and she usually works the lunch shift. So I gave her the date and the time. So we're hoping that we get to see her over there. All right, let's move on to our signature / fine dining restaurant, the best of the best through Walt Disney World. And we are on Tails. So I get to select first. You don't look. It's like cheating on a math test in school.
So you're already looking at mine.
I can't read that far. I'm going with Narcoossee's.
Dang it.
Is that what you picked for your first one?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy, though, that you picked that. I don't, we've been doing a lot of great dining lately. We really, really have.
We have.
But I got to say, Narcoossee's just stands above all.
Yeah.
That we have done in the past year or so.
Yeah.
Was absolutely blown away. It checks off every box from location, atmosphere, service, food, options. I mean, walking out there and watching the Happily Ever After fireworks while they dim all the lights and pump the music through,
nice.
and Rhonda has tears coming down her eyes. It really is such an outstanding restaurant that I hope is going to just absolutely kill it after this reopening. It's only been reopened for a little over a month now. So like it's one of those that we'll get back to sooner than later. We try to put time in between some of these reviews, but that's one that we're gonna find a time to go sit at the bar. Maybe that's a Magic Kingdom day. We do Skipper Canteen and do lunch, and then we go sit at the bar for appetizers or something over at Narcoossee's. So I just was absolutely blown away. All right, so Narcoossee's is off the board. I apologize for stealing that one, but you can blame the quarter.
Okay.
Is it truly selected?
It's hard to say. Well, I have to go with my second one, which is Morimoto Asia.
Yeah.
So, just because they have so many different foods there and such good food, and their what was it, White Lily cocktail is so good. So yeah, that's the one I picked. Yeah,
I agree. There's a lot of options, and if I get one of my picks later, I'm going to talk about menus and stuff. But Morimoto has everything. I mean, everything you could imagine. It is such a large menu. You can even get like the duck for two, which I think would be really cool to do sometimes. If you want to taste the Morimoto, you can do the Morimoto street food right outside there.
Which is so cool because that's so good too.
I love Morimoto.
We've done that a couple of times because we haven't gone into Morimoto in a long time, which that's one we need to get back to. That's
what's so funny is a lot of these restaurants on this list are ones that I think show up for us because as I, have mentioned with like Sanaa, we haven't been there in years, but the experiences we have had like stick with you for a long, long time.
Yes.
And it's one of those, if we haven't been to Morimoto and sat down inside in 4 years, not once in that 4 years have I personally seen negative things said about it. So I don't feel that we're going to all of a sudden show up and be like, oh, wow, the quality went down. The so-and-so went down.
Right.
They've been killing it for years. So I definitely want to make sure that we can get back there again soon. Mm-hmm. So then I had taken your first pick.
Yes.
So that's your second pick. My second pick, probably no surprise to anyone that's listened in the past year, is Flying Fish.
Yeah. I was thinking about that.
That meal was outstanding. It was so good. Yeah. The entire experience, sitting next to the chef, Jessica, and getting to chat with her the whole time. And
I think that was your favorite part. I probably could not have been there and you'd have been fine.
I would have been. That would have been a good solo dining trip.
And it was our anniversary. So
I know. It was the night before our anniversary.
Wow.
So technically it wasn't the official one. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those that I recommend all the time. And especially when people say, I'm looking for a great steak on property, I'm like, go to Flying Fish. It's my favorite on property.
Okay.
All right, now we're going to move on to breakfast. And now when we do the breakfast and we do the lunch dinner ones, these are the next two categories. Again, it's specific to that kind of meal, not necessarily the overall restaurant. So you want to think of like what food, what's your favorite thing to get at some of these places. I'll tell you right now, this is coming down to a coin flip. I can pretty much guarantee it is heads, so go ahead and say it and cross mine off the list.
Because you looked at mine.
No, I didn't. What'd you pick? That's exactly what I had as my number one pick. So it is gone.
Yes.
No surprise here.
Yeah, I mean, it's so good. It's so many options. And I think what I love is, and I could have picked breakfast or dinner, to be truthfully honest. They rock both of them. Because to me, when you have a place, which is so funny because I almost put Beer Garden on here. When you have a place that you want to go back to get more food, that's when, to me, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
That's what reins it in for, yes, this is fantastic.
Yeah. What I love about Boma so much, breakfast and dinner, is, I will use my parents as an example a lot. We could take them there and they can find something they'll like.
Right.
Because they aren't very adventurous eaters at all.
Correct.
But they can go there and get Mickey waffles and eggs and bacon and be completely content, while we're maybe getting some more of the African-inspired, Indian-inspired dishes, things like that. And that Boma breakfast was just unbelievable.
Yeah, it really was.
It really was. We loved dinner when we did it.
Yeah.
And we were forced into breakfast in a sense. We've been wanting to do it forever, but we just had never pulled the trigger. So when Chuck and Amy were like, we've got a reservation. Do you want to come? We're like, yes, of course we do. So I was very, very thankful that they kind of had us pull the trigger on coming to check that one out because it was so good. So you took my first pick. Can you guess what my second pick will be from most recently?
No.
Rainforest Cafe.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
And that's one of those.
It was good. It was really good.
Well, I think that's one of those that the expectations were so low that it blew us away even more.
Yeah.
Like if we had gone in there and everybody and their mom had been like, Rainforest Cafe brunch breakfast is outstanding. You're sleeping on this. It's the best. I love it. I love it. I don't know. Maybe we would have been like, wow, this is good. But I don't know if we would have been as blown away because our expectations were so low.
Right.
And I do think it's a hidden gem for breakfast. I think it's a sleeper pick. I don't think enough people talk about Rainforest for breakfast. Heck, I don't think they talk about it enough at all unless it's, hey, we've got kids. They like things like animals and dinosaurs. Where do we take them? Rainforest or T-Rex? But nobody's, normally people aren't saying, I want really good food. Where do I go for breakfast? Rainforest. Nobody's picking that as their number one pick. So that's why I did.
Okay. Well, that's good.
I hope Rainforest is proud of my selection.
Did you want to know my second one?
I do want to know your second pick.
It was House of Blues.
Oh, outstanding pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, we were looking at this brunch for 8 people on Saturday morning, and Homecoming was originally on the list. To be honest, content-wise, it would be smarter for us to do somewhere we haven't been. So ended up booking a Raglan Road because it was available. Mm-hmm. No Homecoming was. Had my mouse dining alert set for a couple weeks. And then as I started looking more at Raglan Road, I personally was just like, to be honest, this menu's just not doing anything for me. So we ended up at Maria and Enzo's.
Okay.
Which actually looked like a very unique brunch dining with like handmade pasta with egg over top, like poached egg. And it looked like a very inventive brunch.
Okay.
So I was dead set on that, and I was cool with that. It was going to be really good content. And then yesterday, the Mouse Dining Alert showed up for homecoming, and I'm like, I know that the other 6 people in our party really want homecoming,
Yeah.
so let's grab it. And the last time we ate there was brunch with Lucy and Caleb.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be with us on Saturday morning. So it's good, and we had a blast, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I got my squeeze bottle packed.
Oh.
I'm bringing it, getting a refill during my brunch that morning, and it's another one of those like just atmosphere fun places.
Yeah.
Like it really does just has that that southern vibe and feel of friends all collected at a table, having food, sharing food, talking and all. So I'm really, really excited for it. All right. We're going to move on to lunch/dinner, knowing many of these menus are the same. And with these picks, the breakfast and lunch dinner, it could have been any restaurant. It could have been a quick service if you wanted.
Okay.
All the way to a signature
good.
of fine dining. Because if you picked a quick service for breakfast, it's tails. I get to go first.
Okay.
We talked earlier about the menu, the size of the menu at Morimoto Eiza.
Mm-hmm.
There's something for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Give you any hints as to where I picked. And
Three Bridges.
No, we were just talking about it today.
Oh.
In Landry's. Yak and Yeti.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I actually didn't pick that on my...
Again, talk about something for everyone. We could take my parents to Yak and Yeti and they could get a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important, especially when you're looking at larger groups and families.
Oh, 100%.
Not everybody wants to go eat Asian food potentially. And so to have some options and just, this is another one, this is, I would love for just you and I to go to Yak and Yeti, but it's not as great as when you have like a group,
Yeah, that's true.
or your whole family, or when we've taken the girls, like it's such a great place to eat with this extensive Cheesecake Factory thick menu. I feel like there's so many options. And again, ahi tuna nachos, I think is one of the best dishes on property.
Good.
So I got to go Yak and Yeti. We just found out, because this is why we were talking about it earlier. We did the Landry's Select card last time we dined at Rainforest.
Yep.
So we immediately got our $25 credit. That's sitting on our account. Your birthday's in July. We're looking at going at the end of July. We should have another $25 credit. And then I use the Fetch app to scan receipts. And I just noticed one of the rewards is a Landry's card. So I'm going to save as many points as I can, but I'll most likely be able to trade that in for a $25 Landry's gift card. And boom, we can go sit with $75 the next time we go there for lunch.
That'd be exciting.
Because I think we're planning to with Chuck and Amy at the end of July when we were down there with them for Food and Wine Festival.
Okay.
So you didn't go Yak and Yeti. You got a different pick. What did you select?
I actually selected Beaches and Cream.
Why?
Because
I'm so confused by this pick.
Why? Like a lunch.
You've never had a savory
I
food.
do want a savory food. We were sitting, because the last time we were there, we were sitting at the bar and watching all this savory food. It looked fantastic. Not only did it look fantastic, but we have eaten some of the ice cream there. And the ice cream is fantastic. And I think that's a great, I think it would be a great lunch spot. And I think I know that the ice cream's very good.
Wow. That is the most surprising pick of anything we have ever done in almost 600 episodes to me.
Are you being serious?
That came out of nowhere. What was your second pick?
Banana Cabana.
Oh, that's fair. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Okay.
That did not show up on my list anywhere somehow.
Do you want me to switch it then?
No, not at all. Because I got my Yak and Yeti pick and I'm cool with that. So my second pick is almost a little cheater because it's really dinner, but Haleo. I love Haleo.
What time does it open? Like 5 or something?
Yeah, I think it's a dinner only, and but I'm just gonna pick it because I didn't think I was gonna need to move it to my number one.
Oh.
I didn't think you were picking Yak and Yeti, but
no,
you easily could have. Instead,
I could have.
Beaches and Cream. That is seriously shocking to me. I have no idea what's going on right now. All right.
Well, I'd like to eat their savory.
Okay. Oh yeah, we will. I just want to go there and get a burger.
Yeah.
Honestly,
yeah.
So. This is what's amazing. Sometimes I sit back, and not that we're becoming a 100% dining show, but there are times that I just sit back and I'm looking at our schedule coming up, and I'm like, at some point, are we going to run out of topics and ideas? And then an episode like this comes up where I know we're not going to do them on a row, but we have 5 or 6 dining locations that we could easily hit in the next couple months for episode reviews. So let's, you go back to people. Why do you always go back to Disney? This is why.
Yes.
This is exactly why.
Yep.
All right. Next up is date night. I'm going to venture to guess that your number 1 is my number 2, but I get to go first, and I am going, another no surprise to anyone, Topolino's Terrace.
Yes.
For my
That
number
was
1.
number 2.
That's not your number 2, because
My
your
number
number 1
2.
is Cali Grill, correct?
How'd you know that?
Because I know you, babe.
Did you put what'd you
My
put?
number 2 is Cali Grill.
Oh,
so we flipped them. So it worked out perfect. Nice job.
Okay.
All right, so Topolino's, one of my all-time favorites. This is fun with a group. This is fun as a date night. Atmosphere is outstanding. Service is outstanding. Of course, you know, we're talking about date night, so we're talking dinner, but their breakfast is absolutely wonderful.
Both of them.
I absolutely love Topolino's Terrace so much. This is one that I would go to time and time again. It's one of the top. You know, take a Victoria and Albert's out of the mix because we haven't done it, and it's on a whole other level. But I think Topolino's is top 3 restaurant on property. Easy. Hands down. Have never had a disappointing taste there.
Yeah.
And if you want, in the end, walk out on the balcony, watch some Epcot Forever fireworks.
Yeah.
From afar. So
Yes.
overlooking the Skyliner. When the sun is setting,
Yeah, it is cool.
this location, if you got a window seat, is just beautiful.
It is.
Looking over the water. I love seeing the reflection of the Skyliners in the water there as you're looking across at Caribbean Beach. So why Cali Grill? I know why. I know it's one of your all-time favorites.
Oh, it's just gorgeous. The food is fantastic. So many different foods. Again, very romantic. And I mean, Magic Kingdom is right there. You see it at night. It's stunning. And to have a date night there and then watch the fireworks and hear the happily ever after music. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think
That's
Cali
it for
Grill.
me.
Yeah. I mean, I think California Grill would be, you know, I feel like if you asked 10 people, you know, that are frequent visitors to Disney and know their dining, and you said, where's the best date night spot? I feel like 7 or 8 out of 10 people are probably going to pick California Grill first.
Yeah.
I really, really do.
Probably.
I just,
possibly.
yeah. I mean, just overall, the dining for me, I think, if you broke this up, said date night location, California Grill.
Mm-hmm.
If you said date night for the food, Topolino's.
Okay.
And
That's fair.
to be honest, I had to take Narcoossee's already off of the list because Narcoossee's could easily fill in date night in those top 3 to 5, I think, selections. All right. We did date night. Let's do late night. And this one I think will be super interesting because there's not a lot of options. It is heads. What are you picking for your late night best of Walt Disney World dining?
My number 1 is the Dahlia Lounge.
Oh, okay. Nice.
You know, that's where you got your little Bocadillo.
Bocadillo.
Yeah.
I got it. We never mentioned it. I got it the other night when we were there. Got it to go. Brought that back, and I got you the shrimp.
Yeah, and it was fantastic.
Brought the shrimp back, and we sat in our room in the bed and ate them.
Yep.
So what else about Dahlia? Because you're good. You're right. This is open till midnight.
And I did not look at how long the food is served till. Do you know? Because my second pick is actually Abracadabra.
Ooh.
But their food is only served till 9 p.m. So that is fun for quote unquote late night. But I mean, you got to get there before 9 to get some food if you want that.
Yeah. Yeah, they're open 5 p.m. to midnight, Dahlia Lounges, and I believe
the
they're
food's right up to
serving food
almost,
up to almost the entire time.
And I mean, it's just beautiful up there. Oh my gosh, it's at the top. It's right across from Toledo, and it is just, you can sit outside, you can sit inside and see outside. The bar area is huge and beautiful. It's just a phenomenal place to hang out and have a drink, have some food if you're still hungry, depending on where you came from. And that's why my second one was Abracadabra, because depending on where you're coming from, you might not be hungry.
Right.
You might just want a late night, and that's a great place to be for late night.
Yeah, agree with that. And, you know, when parks are shutting down, we still have a lot of food options and restaurants that are shutting down at 10 p.m. You might not be getting back to your resort till 10 p.m. You don't want, you know, possibly food court type food. So you want somewhere that's still serving. And I got to say, if you're that type and you're like, you know what, I'm going to want to eat at 11 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock at night or whatever, the resort you should pick is Coronado Springs.
Yeah.
Because not only is Rhonda's number 1 pick here Dahlia Lounge, my number 1 pick for late night is Three Bridges, because it is also open until midnight. And you can get a ton of outstanding food here. drink, this is a place to hit
Mhm.
after the parks. And so if you're thinking, hey, I want late night, what resort should I book? I really do think Coronado Springs is way up there.
Oh, 100%.
For my number 2,
Yeah.
I actually am going to go to House of Blues at Disney Springs. It is open till 11 p.m.
Oh.
And they have wonderful food. I
Yeah.
don't know what time it was. We ate that dinner there with Kat and Michael once, but it was later.
Yeah.
And we didn't know where to go. And it was probably, I feel like it could have been 9 o'clock or so.
Yeah.
And we all had wonderful, wonderful meals there. And this is House of Blues overall is a sleeper pick for food in general.
Sleeper.
Yeah. Like everybody sleeps on it. Nobody's picking it. Nobody expects it.
Okay.
You know, it's that Cinderella restaurant that comes out of nowhere in a bracket challenge because it's outstanding. And the atmosphere is so fun.
It is.
And they've got the barbecue little shack outside. There's wonderful spots to sit outside. There's going to be live music in
Yep.
the evenings. Like, you know, when we're there tomorrow night at Splitsville, if we end up dinner at Splitsville a little early before our 8:30, I think it is, movie, I would not mind walking over to House of Blues. And,
After?
Yeah, and between dinner and the movie.
Oh.
Walking over to House of Blues and having a drink and catching a little live music before we head right. Because we're all in that same area. The AMC's there, Splitsville's there, House of Blues is right there.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think it's an absolutely wonderful pick, serving great food. Let's move on next to our atmosphere. And mine are fun because they're two complete sides of the spectrum. And it is tails, so I get to go first. And this is probably going to be a really weird pick. I'd pick something like Narcoossee's, but it's off the table. You know, I'm going to go the complete opposite direction, and I'm going to pick Roundup Rodeo Barbecue.
Wow. That is.
It's
wow.
so fun.
It
There's
is
so much
fun.
to see. You want to get up from your table and go walk around. What do the restaurants do that? Really? I mean, think about it. What are the
Okay.
restaurants?
Okay.
There's not many. They're going to be few and far between.
Mhm.
And, you know, especially I think if you've got family or a group in tow, it makes it even more fun. If you got little kids with you, there's so much to see. And, you know, atmosphere also comes into play. The loudspeaker and Andy's coming and everybody freezing.
is
That's
cool.
part of the overall atmosphere.
Okay.
And Roundup Rodeo is like nothing else on property when it comes to those types of things. So that was my very strange pick. But it was
That
as
is
soon as
strange.
I thought atmosphere, it was like my pencil just started writing Roundup Rodeo
Oh,
Barbecue.
Okay.
So what is your pick? Because obviously that wasn't it.
no, mine is Cinderella's Royal Table.
That is an outstanding pick.
I mean, it's in Cinderella's castle. If you sit at a right window, you're overlooking the carousel and
Yeah.
Magic Kingdom. You go up these, you feel so amazing. You go up these grand stairs and the atmosphere and looking around is just amazing. And I mean, the food is fantastic.
Yeah.
Everything's fantastic.
Yeah. That's a really, really great pick.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking in that direction. You're right. There's not.
Well,
There's not much
atmosphere,
like it.
I was trying to like think about that and I'm like, I mean, there's so many great places for atmosphere.
Be
but,
Our Guest
and
is an
yeah,
outstanding one.
but I was also like, well, I don't know, I felt like I was going to put them both together,
Yeah.
which then obviously is Cinderella's Royal Table to me.
But you know what else I would put up in the atmosphere section now that we're just talking about it? Toledo is a wonderful atmosphere with those big stained glass kind
Yes.
of like ceilings
Yes.
and the olive trees
Yes.
all throughout. It's that indoor-outdoor style feel. My second pick, actually, which was, again, going in complete opposite direction, is Tutti Gusto.
Yeah, that's a fun atmosphere one. Like,
When you think of somewhere you
Yeah.
can go and dine and have a
Mhm.
drink and sit on a couch by a roaring fire and feel like you're in an Italian wine cellar,
mhm.
you know, actually over in Italy. I just think it has such a cool atmosphere to it. Absolutely love it over there. But I mean, you know, heck, you could say Coral Reef.
I did.
That was your second pick.
Yes.
Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I mean, because then to me, like, it was so pretty and elegant inside, kind of, but not too elegant where, like, I felt fine wearing shorts and stuff. But the elevated seating where you
Mhm.
can see the entire aquarium is just amazing.
It is. Yeah. And Disney has some wonderful spots for atmosphere. I mean, that's why, like,
100%.
even when I mentioned something like, I mean, shoot, Narcoossee's, California Grill,
Mhm.
you know, go back to Topolino's. All of those have these very unique atmospheres, but in a very different way.
Right.
I mean, shoot, Rainforest Cafe and T-Rex.
Yeah,
you could put in the atmosphere list
that's true.
easily because it's
That's
just,
true.
look at all this stuff around, especially again when it comes to families and kids.
Right.
We're going to move on to our character dining, which will be an interesting one. We don't do a lot of character dining. There's some other ones on our list like Akershus and places like that. But we're going to flip our old coin here. It is on tails, so I get to go first. I'm not worried about you taking my pick because it is breakfast. It is Cape May Cafe.
Oh, okay. I was like,
This was so much fun. Not only was the food outstanding, the characters were great, and the interactions. We had Donald, Daisy, Minnie, Goofy.
oh, that's why you wouldn't be concerned about me picking because you've not taken me here.
That's correct. That was why my concern did not. To be fair, I only went there like 2 months ago, and I was forced by Chuck and Amy. Forced,
wow.
I tell you. But
maybe I just need to just
hands were
completely
tied.
stop
My
going.
hands were
Like,
tied.
there's no reason for me anymore.
When would you like to go to Cape May breakfast? Maybe, you know what? I guarantee they wouldn't. Well, we're going to be there doing food and wine, so I don't know that we want to fill up in the morning, but we'll find a time. Maybe we go Father's Day morning with Rob and Tina before we come home.
Okay.
But yeah, that's mine. I love the character interactions there. It was so good. Absolutely loved it. What is your character dining pick?
Well, I picked Garden Grill.
Okay, that's a great one.
Because the food was, again, fantastic.
Yep.
I think it's neat being in the land like that. I think it's neat that the entire restaurant is actually moving, which is super crazy, but cool. And I loved all the characters.
Yeah.
So
those were wonderful interactions, like, especially because, I mean, shoot, I know we gotten a chance to hug characters when that came back.
Yeah.
But I believe coming out of COVID and those restrictions and things reopening, that Garden Grill is our first character dining coming back.
I believe.
Don't you think?
Oh, well, I mean, you and your Cape May thing.
No, I said the first one coming back. Yeah. So I think that was Garden Grill.
Okay.
So, and the interactions were so good.
Yeah.
I mean, you were like a kid again, and I loved every second of it. It was amazing.
Did you tell us your second one?
I did not. My second one was actually Cinderella Royal Table.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we haven't had the full character interaction since after COVID. It's just Cinderella waving from afar when we went for our anniversary 2 years ago. But knowing that they're all back and knowing when we got them before and them stopping by every single table was so good.
Yeah.
I could have easily put Topolino's for breakfast, but that was already taken off the list for my, signature dining, right? Or no, I'm sorry, for my date night. So I couldn't pick it again. Otherwise, that probably would have taken my first pick because that's wonderful character dining as well. And that breakfast is so good. Although you can now no longer order multiple entrees for Topolino's breakfast. Remember, you used to be able to give me the menu. No longer. They've shut that one down. I do believe you can.
Makes sense.
I do believe you can order extra sides, but you can't get a whole other entree the way that you were used to. Did you say your second pick?
I did not.
Okay, what is your second pick?
Storybook Dining at Artist Point.
I will say
their
the queen,
characters
evil
and that
queen.
Yes.
Best interaction on
I would
property.
love to go. Well, we will go back, but I would love, when we go back, I would love to show her my evil queen apple and see.
She's so not going to care, and that's what's going to make it hilarious.
Seriously? You
I
don't think
so.
she would? You don't think she'd
interaction?
be
She's going to yell at you for some reason.
Because I have a
guarantee.
tattoo?
Probably. Yeah. Interaction's outstanding. We loved the food there.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's where I started to get my first liking of the flavor of mushroom, because they had that mushroom bisque
Oh, so good.
that I actually enjoyed.
So good. You enjoyed it, but I think I ate all of yours.
Yeah.
Like some more. Like, it was so good.
Yeah, I didn't want a lot of it, but it was my first taste where I was like, okay, maybe I can come around to mushrooms a little bit. So we're moving on to our final category. This is our overall restaurant, our favorite at Walt Disney World. All rules are gone. We can pick whatever the heck you want. It doesn't matter if we picked it before. We can pick the same thing. I'll just let you go first.
Why?
Because it doesn't matter. You can't pick you could pick what I picked, but it's not going to matter because we're allowed to do whatever we want in this round. What is your number one pick?
I don't know how to say it. I still love it though. But I should switch them. But I'm gonna go ahead and say what I put. It's the Andorpur.
The Anna Dupar ice cream truck? Are you kidding me right now?
No.
Hold on.
I love it. I love it so much, and I always want.
That's your favorite dining location in all of Walt Disney World.
I put Nomad as my second.
Can we just make it Nomad?
Yeah.
Okay, so Nomad Lounge is your favorite dining location.
Yes.
Maybe I should have been a little more specific with the rules. Like, that you have to be able to get a meal of food at least.
You can get ice cream.
How on earth would you pick that? Like somebody comes up right now, like,
Because there's
so would you like to go to Topolino's or would you like to go get ice cream from a truck?
because they always
in
have
Animal
usually
Kingdom?
different ice creams. Do
Do you know how many items are on Topolino's menu? Okay. I can't play with you anymore. All right, so
What's your
we're gonna
pick?
select- my pick is Narcoossee's.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's the best restaurant on property right now.
Okay.
You know,
what was
again,
your?
My second was Flying Fish.
Oh,
So they
you
literally just come under my
copied.
signature
Oh,
dining.
Okay.
But they're both outstanding.
Hey, at least I didn't have anything that was the same.
I like that you went in a completely different direction. And honestly, I'm thinking, if I had
It
to
says
pick one,
overall, it's not like
yeah. But I'm thinking of dining. Like I'm thinking of eating like actual food, not dessert.
Okay.
Was my thought.
I'm a dessert girl.
If I had to pick something that was not a number one pick, I would probably head over to like a Haleo.
Well, I
If I
just
had
started to
to.
say, if you really were like, pick something, I'd pick a dessert party for Happily Ever After.
But again, we're talking restaurants.
Okay.
Maybe I should have been a little more specific on that part. I know I said it kind of like didn't matter, but it did matter a little bit.
Oh,
If you
maybe
picked that. Why didn't you just pick beaches and cream?
maybe you should be.
You could have just picked beaches and
specific.
cream only for a Sunday or something. That would have
Mm.
been fun. Oh, well, this was fun. We could put out on social or whoops, I just knocked a ton of stuff off my
Oh.
desk. I have alarms going off and stuff because I got to work here, and so I'm thrown off, guys. I apologize for that one, but
I didn't throw you off.
no, well, you did throw me off. I'm razzled now for the rest of the day. If you'd like to let us know who you think had the better overall picks, that would be good. Let us know your picks for each of these. And again, you just can't double up on any of them. And go ahead and you can put those out, share them when we post this on social media, especially in the Facebook community. Go search for the Main Street Magic Community and ask to join. Hit that subscribe button. Get those brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. And of course, we would be so very, very thankful if you would leave us a rating and review.
Because it helps our show grow.
That's all we've got. We'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.